our kids, they'll ask Sally first. Now, this is years ago because they're grown up adults now. They'll ask Sally first, and Sally will say no. Or she said, ask your dad. And then they'll come and they'll tell her, there's never an easy time to make a tough decision. And she says, still go ask your dad, okay? Then they come to me and they'll say, they'll try to flip one of my own sayings on me, but don't ask, don't get, or the squeaky wheel gets the grease, or one of the other hundreds or thousands of things that I say. And it's not easy to come back from that after you've taught them all their lives. And so I think one of the things that I've noticed that raising kids is, even if you do it strictly with tough love like we did, it adds compromise to your repertoire, because a lot of the things the kids ask for may be strange to us as adults, but they're not outrageous, okay? They're not outrageous. But when you hear in the UK, people young women are going out for a jog in the night and they get killed and raped, in full view. A lady here recently, no, this is in America, got raped on the train in New York City in front of 30 people on the goddamn train, and nobody did anything. The survey, Gallup did a survey a few months ago. 85% of the people would rather view it, put it down in their iPhone, than get involved. 85%, okay? And that's why a lot of people aren't being brought to justice, in my opinion. And when they're brought to justice, they get some bullshit sentence that means nothing. There was a young kid here that killed a couple of people 3 or 4 years ago. He's 20. He got 11 years. Well, I think he should have got lethal injection myself, but
That's it?
That's it?
Yeah, one of the things I want to talk politically is about, we ought to think about bringing back the death penalty. Now, that's going to go over like a turd in a punch bowl. But if my message of toughness resonates, because we're being taken advantage of, and just like the deal in Glasgow a couple of weeks ago or last week for global warming and climate change, etc. The one thing I do agree with Greta, that young kid that marches around the world making speeches, the young Swedish girl, she's right. Adults just do blah, 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 and nothing changes. But if they want change, they've got the right man here. But you're talking about, both Amber and John, change. Your life has changed. But the only way your life can change is if you really pull the trigger and take action.
Exactly. If you want to do it, you have to be motivated.
I can't make them be motivated.
No.
You have to do it. And then it's self-fulfilling. Once you've done it, you see the benefits of it.
Exactly.
Your kids see the benefits of it. The people around you see the benefits of it.
Our kids are tough. This is the benefit I get from a QLA here. I brought that back to our kids. I've been even more tough to them. And my son, it's been straight 2 years. He's telling me, Mommy, I don't need a birthday celebration. What for? I'm even back to default. I'm like, but your friends already invited you, and maybe you should just, have a birthday celebration with your friends. He's like, no, I don't need it.
Well, he's right. But
yeah, because he doesn't want to waste time on birthday celebration. He wants to focus on things he is more interested in. He doesn't want to waste any of his time.
And how old is he now?
He just turned 15.
Okay.
Yeah, our daughter is very boss lady too. She's very confident. I'm so glad.
Well, wrongfully I had self-confidence as a youth, even though I was a total fuck-up. But I had confidence, and I got that from my parents, especially my dad, as you've heard before. But if a kid comes out with confidence through his teens, that's like $1 billion in value to them, because you can't take that away from you. You just can't. And one of the reasons the World War II was supposedly, and I agree, the generation that saved the world, those kids growing up from the Depression were likely to have more confidence because they had gotten through the Depression, etc. And then when they got, and we won the war on both fronts, they were able to exhibit that self-confidence and self-esteem and self-worth and all the things that we teach here, because there are just no classes being taught, and the few classes that are taught are sometimes, in my opinion, mostly crackpots online, selling you some bullshit that you can get from the library. To date, we still, although there's a bunch of mini-me's running around that I don't endorse, and so once in a while we get a complaint. I took such and such a program from so-and-so and I paid $3,000 or $5,000, and it was just all bullshit. And so, like, I can do something about it, you know. I really want to say, well, you're a sucker, you're stupid. But, you know, it's, and again, 99% of all my stuff is online for free. Where do we stand, John? What deals are we looking at?
Right now, currently?
Yeah.
You know, I finished 2 deals this year. Right now I'm looking at deals, but I'm being picky. I'm being being a little too picky. Either it's too far away or, you know, recently some of the COVID vaccines, you know, people are making money off that, but that's a temporary thing. So
yeah, you're right. It's not going to be.
If your business is based on the COVID vaccine and the COVID tests, I don't think it's going to be a long-term business. And that's why the board is not wanting to go after those deals.
No, I agree with that. I agree. We don't want to, you know, sometimes we do make short-term solutions to long-term problems. That's just life. But we certainly don't want to make a habit of it. And we don't want it to be our main avenue or filter for deals. In the past, during Corona, I've seen kids that you wouldn't think could brush their teeth. I mean, get deals done and to their credit. And then occasionally you do see somebody that comes out, he looks on paper and in a seminar, he sounds like Superman, but he's not. Now, one of the most unusual results we had, which is about 3 seminars ago, and I call him online the pig fucker. He's not, and he is a farmer. He's not a pig farmer, but he farmed goats, I think. Goat farmer and a part-time mechanic from Northern Ireland. In the group, he's a guy that you'd bet all your money, almost all your money, that he wouldn't have done anything. During the group, there were 4 Irishmen, 3 from the Republic of Ireland and 1 from Belfast. And even the Irish guys didn't think that he'd accomplish anything. And above, you know, against the odds, he did a deal and surprised everybody. And he filmed it before he went to the interview to buy this healthcare deal. He said, "This is what I'm going to do." He built the board up, etc. He did follow all the steps. This is what I'm going to do, and this is I'm going to get them to agree such and such. The next day, I get an email, or you get an email. I forget who got the email that he did it, and it was we were during the next month's seminar, and the people at the seminar couldn't believe it. But he was, you know, determined. He wanted to change his life, and he went on and he did it. And so I'm proud as hell of him. The environment is there. We don't want to be too picky that we don't do deals. But you're right about the Corona. We can't buy a business that's just based on Corona. I had one kid did a Corona deal for masks, and he was one of the few kids that didn't get fucked by, you know, the mask deal. But now he did that deal, but he doesn't have a business. Okay, he made a bunch of money from the masks. I don't know if it was 4.5 million masks or something outrageous. But now he doesn't have a business, and so now he's searching for the business. The world's our oyster right now, and the fact that Amber and John have shown it, and not more importantly, but just as importantly, have been able to bring their kids along. It's quite remarkable. And when they were here, it was not absolutely obvious, but the contingent part of their success was whether she really got on board, not just being here. She did get on board, and the rest is history, because you can't fight a battle on two fronts. Hitler proved that, and Napoleon proved that. You got to fight a battle on one front, and that one front is doing deals and running your business. And you need that absolute support when you get home, and even more so, teenage kids, no matter where they are hard to raise. Fortunately, their two children have come away with self-confidence and self-esteem. But if John had to, when he is home, deal with a wife that's not supportive and kids, teenage kids being teenage kids, it's a recipe for suicide, is what it is.
It's not going to happen to them. Okay. They're very tough, and they're not sensitive. What I learned from here back in 2019 was sensitivity equals poverty. You can be sensitive. Yeah, that's...
Sensitivity equals poverty.
Exactly. And our kids, they're not sensitive because they know when I'm being tough to them, they understand that. Even though they're going to show me the attitude. But still, they know that's good for them.
Well, you as a couple are in the minority. And as I say to my cousins that have kids and grandkids, and as I say to the seminar attendees, which I'm sure I said when you were there, how's your program worked out so far? It hasn't, okay? People don't come here because they've done everything in a glorious manner, okay? They come here because, they know that a more successful lifestyle in life is there, but they don't know how to reach it exactly. And that's one thing that we do. We leave them with, whether they follow the format, that's a whole other question. But the people that do are successful. And I couldn't be more pleased. It's quite remarkable. And even though I've cut back next year, I'm only doing half as many seminars because I'm getting involved in politics. But the good news is there's no office for me to run for 2 or 3 years. And even after I'm in office in this country, because they don't pay anything as a member of parliament, you're assumed to have another job. So ostensibly, I could give seminars for a long, long time, not as many, but I could give seminars and still fulfill my obligations to whatever elected office that I get. And I'm assuming, not being braggadocious, whatever I run for, I'm going to win in a landslide. And there's nobody in this country, back up, I dream about Prime Minister's questions is the section that they have, and the Prime Minister gets up and answers questions from the opposite party in the middle of Parliament. I dream of having my opposition, Winston Churchill. There's nobody, I'll eat, everybody in politics in this country I can eat alive. And so we're going to put my money where my mouth is. And by the way, I don't want any donations either. I'm doing this on my own nickel. I don't want any obligations that I have to be nice. I'll be nice to Amber anyway. I may not be nice to him, but any closing remarks you'd like to make?
I just want to say, what Dan's saying is totally true. Even though I'm an engineer, I don't use any engineering doing the roll-up. And all I rely on is believing in myself, believing in QLA, in the program, and just really wanting the deal being done, and just keep pushing. That's how you get the deals done. You don't need any special education or nothing. I mean, I told all the time, I wish I didn't go to engineering school. Then I would have been rich sooner.
And you have a master's in engineering too.
I do. A master's in biomedical engineering.
And you use that to brush your teeth with. Yeah.
He got into the PhD program, actually. I convinced you, don't do PhD. You're going to wasting a lot of your time. And then he say, okay, let's just finish master. If you listen to me, you just graduated with me together. You'll be...
Yeah, I should listen to her sooner.
You know, that saying, that adage, behind every great man, there's a greater, that's not good English, woman, but they've done just about exactly what they said they were going to do. And I look forward to remaining their chairman and doing more deals in the new era. There is a new era, but it doesn't affect QLA. The new era only affects there are more motivated sellers. That's the only thing. And any closing remarks, Amber?
I want to tell a story. After Castle 2019, I lost a lot of friend group because Zhang wants to do some really scary things. A lot of my friends, they're very sensitive. They don't understand. They choose to not to be friends with us anymore. I was kind of sad, but I want to be very supportive. I stand by Zhang. I love this man. He's crazy, but he's very motivated. And forever in my life, I will stand right next to you, baby. I don't care. Friends are troubles. I don't need friends who doesn't worth our friendship. But I need my man. We were most hated couple during seminar back in 2019, but who cares? He is the guy. I support him, and he's getting so much better. There is roller coaster lives. But you know, together, we're together, and we can do everything. Thank you so much, Mr. Peña,
You're very welcome.
Because truly, baby, Mr. Peña changed our life.
Thank you. I was the most hated financial executive 1977. They had a campaign, and I won in a landslide, literally. And they had T-shirts. I still have one of the T-shirts left, and it's got holes in it from 1977. But I never, even as a young kid, wanted to be liked more than I wanted to be effective. And that's really the key. And they've gotten more selfish about their time. They've got more selfish about what they want out of life instead of pleasing somebody else. And that's a key. That's the key. I'm very happy that they're here. And I look forward to the Q&A tonight. I'm sure that, after a few drinks, they're going to be loosened up. But I know that down deep inside, they come here, and even before they come here, you know, they want their spouse, their significant other, to be on board, and they don't really understand the proper way to get them on board. And leadership is, you know, getting people to do what you want them to do when you want them to do it, not when they decide. And that's why it's even tougher with kids, but it is possible. Well, thank you very much. I look forward to dinner and drinks, and you look lovely as usual. And we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peña.
Thank you so much.
I wonder if you didn't blind them.
Too many diamonds.
No, my wife has said you can never be too thin or too rich. And that was the motto of
And Sally is my role model.
Okay, and the woman that said that was the woman that got the King of England to abdicate. Simpson, I think her name was. And so he gave up being King of England to be with her. So that's a big goddamn commitment.